Well, hello there, and welcome everyone back to season 3 for tier 3 of the Alpha Racing League. It is round number 8 of the season, and we are here for the British Grand Prix. I am PNBO5, if anyone does not know, and I am joined by Davis 2K7, almost winner last week in tier 2. How are you, Davis?
Good. How are you?
I'm good as well. Just trying to kick back, relax, and enjoy another British Grand Prix. Probably a better one than last season, because last season's one was in the rain and pretty boring. And yes, I do see you are first Milo Gaming. That's good. Good accomplishment, at least, you know? Maybe might not be first today with the pole position like last season, you know? That was impressive, I will say. That was a big shock to everyone, you know? But you are first here today to the chat, so that's good to see, at least, though. But, yeah, so let's go over, in fact, Davis... Britain last season in tier 3. It was a wet race, we'll put it that way. And I don't know if you would believe it, but the tier 3 pole time was faster than the tier 2 pole time. Can you believe that?
Oh yeah, that is kind of a shock. I don't know how the tier 3 pole time is fast, but then again, I forgot who got pole last season for tier 3. But you know, you did have the drop from Patriot.
It was regular corner cutting.
I mean, that's also a thing. Regular corner cutting, you know, you can extend and stuff. So, I mean, that could have been a issue to a faster lap time.
Yeah. Last season, I mean, Lucas, although he got the pole, he really fell back. He really couldn't hold that lead too long. And especially in the wet conditions, he could not do anything whatsoever. And as you see in the session, both Haas are retired in the session already. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, although, you know, Lucas took that pole last season, Patriot was the one winning the race, dominating by a long shot, and Bennett actually goes off at turn 1. Oh, that might impact him pretty big, and Florian Foley as well sets second. Yeah, also to put out there, as Bennett is going around for a moment in the grass. Also to mention last season, CJ had took his first podium. And you were side by side with him to the checkered flag, Davis, to the line on the last lap. Kind of, what's your kind of thoughts on that?
It was a really good drive by him. I started to struggle in the closing laps of the race. It was a really good drive by him. He got on his first podium last season. But, yeah, that was for my first P2, but we know how that one went. Finally got my first P2 last 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Guess that's the way to put it. Black Draw as well. He's at the top right now. I just want to keep mentioning some stuff during this qualifying session about the current session, and then we'll go back to everything else. We'll go back to that session in a little while. But hey, here are the first starts of the season in this race. Well, basically there's no one, but there are people back as reserves. To put it in simplest terms, Fire King is back after, I want to say, it was a race ban. Fake Fiery again, reserving again. You also have as well, oh, I want to say someone else is reserving. Ditto is reserving as well. She's back in that Williams. Just to put it that way, yeah. In the first starts of last season in this race was just Harrison M2906. Didn't really race many races after that one. Didn't even think, I don't even think he made a start after that. But, yeah, he made a start last season. That was his first start at the British Grand Prix. And I believe he had a 11th, 12th place finish. So, yeah, GG's to him, I guess. Well, let's talk about then the point situation then, Davis. It is very early in the session, but we'll be focusing on a lot of things throughout the session and a lot of the current situations that people are in as things stand. Well, who am I going to focus on board with a lot? Let's focus on board with Patrick VC, though. But, yeah, just to kind of recap, Davis, you've been here the past few weeks, except for last week. The point situation, I mean, Bennett did have pretty bad race. Bennett did have a pretty bad race last week. It wasn't the best race he could have, and it wasn't what he hoped for. It was only a 5th place finish, but his championship rival, GSR Raptor, or sorry, I keep getting that mixed up. It is Raptor F143. He had finished just 1 place above him in 4th. And keep in mind, Emma K-Boy took pole, I believe, keep in mind about that one. So yeah, a lot of things happened last week's race, such as Hissy having great pace, making great overtakes, just having great, confidence, I'd say. Confidence is the right word for Hissy because he had a lot of it last week, and really, with that confidence, he put himself up there and leading the race. But when those wets were not working out the best, it was a bold call to go to the wets. He fell back and then started charging his way through the field at the very end of the race. At the very end of the race, he started charging his way up to the front of the field, and he couldn't really do much when there's slower cars in front of him. Was on the wets, probably going to win the race, but ran into the back of race winner Black Raw and costed himself a decent finish. I think that's Dylan Boy as well, giving a little toe to Aaron O'Connor, as you see right there. But, Hissy probably had a chance to win last week. CJ won on track. Tommy Karate as well, I want to put out there. Got another podium, got another second place finish in a wet race. So, GG's to him again as well. But, the point standings, let's talk about that. Because Bennett, where he stands 44 points ahead of Raptor. That's big. He could extend that gap today. If he wins the race, Raptor comes second. He could extend that gap to the point where that gap is at least a race ahead by race win. Race win ahead, basically, to put it that way. He'd be 50 points ahead by the end of this race. Squid is behind in the standings. Black Raw is behind in the standings. They're about 60-plus points behind. And then you have the constructor standings as well. You have as well McLaren, 142 points. AlphaTauri, 133. And then Renault with 108. Davis, what kind of shocks you the most in those point standings that you want to look out for today?
Most likely, I would most likely be shocked of Mercedes, actually. I thought Mercedes would be higher than that, at least in the top 3 battling, because, Patrick VC's been up there. Arthur, he's had his moments up in the front, too. Those two, I think that shocks me the most, with those two being down in 5th place, which I think they could be in the top 3 if they just have a little bit better luck on their side, I guess you can say.
Heading into this race, we have had 4 different winners this season. I mean, it's not bad to start off the season for Tier 3. Again, it's not bad, but it's also not the greatest compared to what we thought we could have. Bennett, I mean, he's sitting out here 100-plus laps led this season. That's an insane stat to have. 100-plus laps led in, your first season. I think it's his first season of league racing, but hey, that's insane to think. Now he's going to start a lap, but yeah, looking at the point standings, I'm surprised Raptor has kind of gained the momentum he has and kind of got better the way he has. He's really improved as a driver, and it's starting to show this season how much he can take advantage of certain things happening as well. So, I don't know. Raptor, where he stands right now, he could rather be in good position if Bennett has an issue or a bad position. He started off the first season of the race winning and leading the championship, but it didn't end up that way in China because of a bad race. The second race of the season, it didn't end up that way because of certain problems he was having. Now, if you had to pick one big moment or one shocking moment of the season, Davis, what would it be? Because there's a lot of moments you could say this season that have been very shocking, very interesting. What moments would you say so far this season that you were most surprised about? Most surprised, most shocked about?
Most likely, Hungary. That was a really shocking race, to be honest, with, Bennett being all the way back in the field and making his way. That was a shock to not see him, battling for the race lead and all that, and how the podium was doing. Then again, it was a wet race, and I don't think Bennett's as quick as others in the wet. So,
yeah,
that was a very shocking moment.
We could probably say in this league that CJ and Hissy, and maybe even Tommy Karate, are probably the 3 best wet racers in this league. We could probably even say that. We could probably say that right now. Those 3 are probably the 3 that probably stand above the rest. And you could probably agree on that because Tommy Karate, you got to race against him last season. He finished second to you in USA. Hissy as well. He was battling for a win in Hungary with you in a wet race, wet to dry race. He also had in Britain. Yeah, he would have, yeah. And then Britain last season as well, CJ Pants, as well. First podium for him in the wet conditions. He's very good in the wet conditions. So those three, you could probably say, are the best wet racers in this league. Maybe in this league, but I'd say in this tier of this league. I'd say. I'm going to rephrase that because that was kind of bad wording for me, if I'm going to put it that way. Not in this league. There's better wet racers than that, I will say, but in this tier of this league. Now, Fake Fiery is coming to the line. He does improve on his time, if I'm correct right there. There's also people like Bennett who's yet to set a time. Maybe waiting to set a time in that final lap. But if he gets invalidated, he's starting P20. Keep that in mind. So he's going to have to go push with all hell he got. Push like hell. Put it that way. But yeah, final laps coming out. 2 minutes left in the session right now as things stand. And as we go, right now, JC Arthur did take that pole position away from Black Raw and JSC Hellcat and Florian Foley as well. Not bad for a 4th place starting spot for him. You know, a lot of people can maybe compare him and Utah Elephant both as possibly Nico Hulkenbergs of this league. 4th place finishes a lot. Not any podiums, but have been in prime position to do so. Florian Foley's been one of those guys, and he's a German driver. Keep that in mind. So he would relate really well to Nico Hulkenberg, and Nico Hulkenberg is returning to the F1 grid this weekend. So, I mean, I thought I mentioned that. Maybe he can do better than what Nico Hulkenberg did at Silverstone last time. He was probably going to finish 4th, but hey, he could probably do one spot better than Florian Foley. He has the chance to do so. So, yeah, Hellcat, he's been out for the past few weeks. He's currently on an out lap. And he is returning to the grid. And yeah, Joe, Utah Elephant says he's Mr. Nico Hulkenberg. Yeah, I mean, I can agree, but I mean, I think if there's any Nico Hulkenberg of the tier, right here in tier 3, you definitely got to say Florian Foley, though, at least of the tier. We'll get to that in tier 2, though. But hey, anyway, we're on the final laps of qualifying. There's still some people on out laps, some people trying to get to the checker flag. You have Bennett about to start a lap. You also have the Ferrari. That is JSC Hellcat as well, about to start a lap. He's trying not to get impeded if Bennett does make a mistake of some sort. Now, keep in mind, Hellcat is 4/10 off that pole position. And you have a lot of cars backing up at the final sector, Hissy being one of them. Hissy had a great finish last week. Great pace, but it was not the finish he was looking for because he was on for a win, so keep that in mind. Can he possibly be on for a win today? And he's backing up the final sector again. And coming into that final sector on a lap is Aaron Ocon, or not, actually, about to start a lap, excuse me. And you have a lot of guys on laps here with the final seconds left of qualifying. If you're not got in a lap yet, get one in now because this is the right time. This is crunch time of qualifying. You also have gaining a position there, Aaron Ocon, 17th though. He's going to start a lap though, and he goes through turn 1 this time. You also have coming to the line, there's the Mercedes. That's JSC Arthur. He's going to start a lap this time as well. And behind that, that's Raptor F143. He's going to start a lap too. But there's the AlphaTauri. That should be Black Raw, 49 thousandths up in his time. Heading into Sector 3, trying to improve on his lap. Where does he go this time with the AlphaTauri? Coming to the line. It's going to be pole. That's pole right now. Provisional pole by 22 thousandths. Behind that, there's the McLaren. That's Bennett right now. Can he probably say something about that? Can he steal it away? He cannot invalidate any of these fallen corners and make any sort of mistake. Very smooth through these fallen corners. Bennett coming to the line right now. Will it be enough? It should be enough because it is pole position by a good 10th. Behind that, JC Hellcat. He's going to say return to second. Florian Foley, he's invalidated. Hissy as well. I believe he's got a lap currently set down and about to be finished as things stand. Communist retires from the session. You also have, that is the Williams, the Alfa Romeo, the Mercedes coming to the line as well. Behind that, Hissy runs a bit wide in the front corner, but it's going to be a top 5 starting position for him. Behind that, there's the Alfa Romeo. That should be Aaron Ocon coming to the line. It's top 15, but it's not a decent starting position. Behind that, Patcher VC completes the checker flag. That is 5th for him. Off is the Racing Point. That's out of the session, I believe. For CJ, that should be. There's the Red Bull. That's Fake Fiery. Actually going to start a lap. Get back to the checker flag from what I see. And he's invalidated. But a monster shows him on an out lap as well. I don't know why, but yeah, that's out of the session. Fake Fire, or not Fake Fire. That was someone out of the session. So right now as things stand, that's Bennett Hellcat. The 2 guys who have already took poles this year. 1, 2.
Yeah. Hooded Monster just needs to retire and save his tires because he cannot make it.
This is probably the closest we've had the top 10 this season. I remember last week there was a decent gap between the top 5, top 6, and then they're just split down farther there. This is probably one of the tracks. Whoa, and there goes to the monster off and out of the session. Yes, make Atlantis tier 3. I agree. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a funny joke for another time. But hey, 99 thousandths between that pole position, almost a full 10. Hellcat, Black Raw, Arthur, and Patra VC all round out that top 10. But behind that, Hissy, Florian Foley, Hooded Monster, Communist, Just Dylan Boy, very far down as well. On the mediums, qualifying in the top 10 on the mediums, not so bad for him. Keep in mind, though, as well. Yeah, no, not Atlantis tier 3. I agree with that one. He's leading the championship right now in tier 2, though. But, yeah, that top 13 is really very close. And 2 seconds is the top 15, so that's not bad either. Outside the top 10, Raptor, that's big for him outside the top 10. Fire King didn't set a time. Ditto didn't set a time. Also, behind there, outside the top 10, you have names like Thrasher, who could possibly steal a podium. I mean, he had got almost a podium last season in this race. And Squid Jr. as well, 15th for him. So, I mean, a previous race winner from the season, Squid Jr. and Raptor outside the top 10. And Thrasher, he almost stole a podium in tier 2 this time 2 seasons ago when I'd won this race, doing my only starts in this league. So, I mean, Thrasher, he could possibly steal a podium if it is in his favor, because that race, that season, things didn't look like it was going his way at the start of the race. But those sprint races in tier 2 at the time were races that you could easily make a mistake and come back through the field and find something to find yourself in prime position to get a podium in the end. I think Thrasher did pass pass the line third on track in that race, but did lose it off penalties against Rapid Extreme. So keep in mind, I mean, anything can happen in these sort of races. Anything can really happen. You don't know what could happen because Thrasher, like I said, could steal a podium. So could Squid. So could Raptor. There's many guys out there outside the top 10 who could really surprise us today, because we've even seen guys outside the top 10 last week in tier 1 as well qualify outside the top 10 and finish inside the top 10 and also get a good finish, such as Jack as well when winning the race. Davis, I'm gonna have you go through 3 favorites right now. Who are your 3 favorites in this race coming into it? Well, for this race in general, not just coming into this race, but hey, on the grid, who's your 3 favorites you got?
Well, first I'm gonna go with P3 Blackdraw. He showed good pace during qualifying. He's been up there in the front almost every race this season, battling with Bennett. I think he'll be another one to battle with Bennett this race as well. I'm gonna go with Just Dylan Boy and P10. It was between him and Raptor. I chose Dylan Boy. He's on mediums, the best medium runner in qualifying so far. Only 10th, so that's pretty good for the mediums. I think he'll have a shot to get top 3. And outside the top 10, I'm gonna go with Squid. No, my bad. Nope, not Squid. Aaron Ocon. He's also on mediums in P14. That's also decent. P14, he's in front of 2 soft runners. I think he'll also have a shot, at least for decent points.
I was also going to mention Aaron Ocon and Thrasher do have a bit of history at this racetrack. Season, actually 2 seasons ago, both of them collided. This was back in season 1. They both of them collided and gone out of the race. One of them did, and then Aaron Ocon continued on. I'm going to go, of course, with Bennett. How can you not go with him? Another pole position for him. This is 4 pole positions. 4 pole positions now, I would want to say, for Bennett. So, with him, I wonder how things can go. Because last week it wasn't the best thing for him. Right now he starts on pole. You don't want to make 5 pit stops like he did last week, because that was a nightmare of a race for him. Hellcat on his return as well. I mean, just to keep everyone in mind, Hellcat, I don't think he raced this race in Season 1. But in Season 2, it wasn't a decent race for him. It was just okay. Nothing special. Maybe he can improve and get it 1 position better. I'd like to see it. And I'm also going to go with JC Arthur because, if I'm correct, he won this race, actually, in ABS Tier 3. So, how can he go from starting 4th in the grid? I also want to just put out there, Mr. P11 Fake Fiery starting outside the top 15. How can he go? I mean, he's starting ahead of his reserve. Well, he's as a reserve. He's starting ahead of his teammate. Sorry, not Fake. Riskiest Robin. I apologize for that one. But hey, here we come for the 5 red lights upon us here in O, and we got a car off, and that is Ditto. Anyways, they're starting to rev it up. For the 5 red lights, it's lights out, and away we go. I think JC Hellcat got a little bit of a better start. They're side by side before turn 1 right here between Hellcat and Bennett side by side for the runoff right there in the right side, and Bennett almost losing the rear, but now for the race lead, Black Draw gonna take that away, and going off at turn 1 is just Dylan Boy with a bit of maybe damage and maybe a little bit of contact right there, but Bennett keeps the race lead ahead of Black Draw, and behind that they're split apart from JC Hellcat, Florian Foley, and Hissy, but now for the race lead, slipstreaming. This is into sector 2 right now. Black Draw trying on the race lead for Bennett, cannot do so right there. It's just not close enough, and now Bennett does keep this race lead for now, but Black Draw is trying to challenge back here, almost into the back of him right there.
Yeah, almost a really clean start by everybody, but Patrick VC got spun around as Bennett. He has a 1.5 second lead over Black Draws. We're not going to count Ditto, since she got a jump start.
CJ Pants does go ahead of Aaron O'Con as well, and Hissy and JC Arthur. JC Arthur does make a move into Maggots right there, and behind that, Hooded Monster goes down the order. So does Raptor. They're both into the grass. That's Thrasher spun out. Well, he's in the runoff area, but that's no damage for him. He has to re-enter it right into the path of just Dylan Boy, and Hooded Monster at the back as well, off right there. And of course, Ditto's AI car is going down the order right there, as you see. And now, Fire King with a little gaggle of cars here, and a Stowe this time. Some people right back here in the back of the pack might have a bit of damage. Fire King going around the far outside of Hooded Monster. Raptor pitting, Hooded Monster pitting. Patcher VC has really fell back really far after this first lap.
Yeah, a lot of guys up in the top 10 did fall back, as you have Florian Foley going through Ditto, but yeah, she did lag out in qualifying. I invited her back, but she's not going to join, I guess.
Is he going the hard strategy? So is Raptor. Those tires should be able to make it the rest of the way. With the way it goes, those hards are supposed to go 20 plus laps, so yeah, it would be easy for those things to go the rest of the race. And Hooded Monster actually going for the mediums as well. Just want to point that out. And ahead of that, Communist and Ditto switching positions. Square goes off the racetrack right there. The start of sector 2, battling with Tommy Square battling with Squid Jr. right there. This is for P10, what would be the really net P9 with Ditto stuff. And JC Hellcat already picking up a penalty. That's not really good to do here, because you don't want to pick up a penalty, because penalties can be very costly at the track.
Here comes Dylan Boy on the outside of Riskiest Robin, entering Maggots and Beckett's right now. He's going to get it. Now he's going to have to try to make a move on Fire King, which he does. Fire King almost lost it, but now Dylan Boy up the P14 after starting P10, dropping the P20. Now he's going to try to make his way back up there.
Black Draw just picked up a penalty as well, but Fire King has some damage and has to let his teammate by. That's Thrasher. I mean, he has to let him by. I mean, he does have damage. I think Thrasher did kind of move Riskiest Robin just a little bit out of the way there, and Fire King does have to come to pit. So does Squid Jr. So those two already with trouble.
Now Patrick VC on the outside of Fake Fiery on the outside. He does get the move. P11 now for Patrick VC after spinning out on lap 1.
JC Arthur is close to Florian Foley as well. This is for 4th right now as things stand. And Florian Foley, not a bad start. Let's check possessions gained here at the start of the race. Yeah, 10 positions for Ditto. You know why that happened. But 6 positions for CJ, 6 positions for Aaron O'Con, 3 positions for Florian Foley. A decent start by those guys. Not bad. And I didn't really notice any starts that we had. I mean, I know you had a start last week, Davis. There was a flyer off the line. And commentators didn't notice, so apologize for that. But hey, you know, we do see Aaron O'Con and CJ, they had a good start. 6 positions gained. You know, we're not always focusing on the midfield as well. Keep that in mind. Dominant Square trying to get by the Ghosted Car Ditto. Just Dylan Boy does get by Fake Fiery as well. You also have JC Arthur, who's got DRS on Florian Foley's things stand. In that front 3 do sit 1, 2, 3 really in the 1 second from one another within a little train. Access Florian having good luck? That's impossible. That is right. I haven't really seen him have good luck in the recent weeks. So yeah, I mean, That's true. And especially after his internet didn't want him to race, I guess. His internet, yes, you heard that right. His internet was messing with him, so yeah, I guess you could put it that way. But yeah, now Arthur is a JC Kart trying on Florian Fully one more time. Cannot get through him. But now Florian Fully keeps the position as things stand. Behind that, that's a yellow flag. That's Squid Jr. right there. Something's happened with him. He's got grass on his tires. And JC Arthur trying on Florian Fully right now. This is into the left-hander. He's going to maybe try a move. He cannot be there because he's not close enough. Can't do so.
Yeah, Hellcat did lose DRS of Black Draws. He's struggling now. Black Draws trying to gain on Bennett right now. Trying to have a battle for the race lead right now. Lap 4 in this Grand Prix.
Fire Kings picked up a penalty. You also have Florian Fully and JC Arthur. They sit close once again. And Arthur almost losing the rear end through Maggots right there. And now to Beckett's. Aaron Ocon does pick up a penalty. And now Florian Fully loses a bit of traction out of that corner. And you could just see Arthur was ready to gain, ready to pounce. And he's right there. He's next to... That is Florian Fully, and this is for 4th. Arthur does get the position right there, and he is ahead for 4th place. But for the race lead, it was 3/10 just a moment ago. Right now, it sits 5/10 between Bennett and Black Draw. And these two always, every week in the past few weeks, they've put on a show. And right there, I think that was a purple sector 3 for Black Draw. Florian Fully, yeah, fastest lap right there too. And Black Draw does, Florian Fully does pick up a penalty. And look at the pack starting gaining on him. Ooh, turn 1. But yeah, you have Arthur, you have Florian Fully, you have Communist, you have CJ Pants, all really in a 4-car train here. This is for 4th now. And Dominant Square does get by Patcher VC. That's for 9th as well. Already the racing point of Hooded Monster already getting lapped already. Wow. Wouldn't think that already. Well, Fire King actually has left the session. You'll have to reinvite him. Don't know what's happened with him. I think I may know, but I don't know. Well, Patcher VC. Close to Dominant Square again. Trying to attack back at him. So many corner cutting penalties, I know, right? And going through cops this time. Square runs a bit wide, so does Patcher VC. Both of them running wide. It's not going to help them any bit. And Square actually getting onto the red curb. That might have picked him up a warning, because I remember back earlier at the start of this game, I picked up a warning by doing that. And Square actually does have a bit of damage, which is why Patcher VC really wants to get by here. And Patcher VC, out of Beckett's, does get through.
Now for the race lead is 4/10. Black Draw has caught. Last lap, Bennett did get a little bit of DRS from Hooded Monster, who was a lap down. So now can Black Draw make a move on the next DRS straight?
I'm going to have to bear back quickly. You can take over for a little while. So you get to have some fun, unlike Austria.
Yay. Right now, Black Draw 5/10 back from Bennett right now. In DRS will not be able to make a move this time. Florian Fully, he's barely in DRS range as well. Just Dylan Boy's trying to make a move by Dominant Square right now. He's going to have DRS of Dominant Square. Will he be able to make a move? No, he will not be able to make a move. Nobody's really battling as of now. The closest gap is between the race lead. Bennett does get into the grass a little, as now here comes Black. They're all not going to be able to make a move in Maggots and Beckett's. He's all over Bennett right now. Can Black maybe make a move on the DRS straight? Loses a lot of time right there on the exit of it, so he will not be close enough to make a move. As Just Dylan Boy did get by Dominant Square. As now, nobody's really battling, everybody's just in DRS trains. As the race lead is 5/10 now, Bennett did pull 2/10 that lap. As PNB is
I am back and
you left me at a bad time.
I have no yeah, I have no clue what's happened to the interval gap 12th on down, but yeah. Just typical games right here from F1 games, I guess, right? But hey, no other way to put it, because that race lead is sitting very close to one another. And now Black Raw is using a bit more of that overtake, which is why Bennett has saved his for now. Now, I've seen people spin out of cops here because of using the overtake button a little bit too much and using a little bit too much curb sometimes. I've seen it happen. I've done it myself, so I know from personal experience from previous F1 games. But yeah, Bennett looks like he has to let off here at the start of Maggots, and then into Beckett's. Black Raw does start to gain on him, but does get into the grass. Now with the overtake button engaged, this is for the race lead. Bennett is trying to defend, moving a little bit right there, and now Black Raw cannot do anything about it because Bennett keeps the race lead again. It goes a bit wide. Black Raw does.
As here comes just another board on Aaron Ocon. 4P9
yeah,
this is.
it's you all for Mayos.
I know. Finally something right now. As just Dylan Boy's gonna be able to make the move most likely on the inside of him. Aaron Ocon's gonna try to fight back, will not be enough for Aaron Ocon. Just Dylan Boy back up the P9.
And Risky Robin's getting beat by an AI car almost for a moment. I thought I'd mention that. Almost. I'll put it that way. Almost. Yeah. Ditto's got DRS now, but yeah. Anyway.
A lot of ERS too.
Yeah. You could try to invite Ditto back again if you can. That'd be great. But hey,
I'll invite her again.
That race lead though, 3/10 between Black Raw and Bennett. These two sit close to one another once again. Bennett trying to run a little bit wide. Oh, thank you for that. Bennett running just a little bit of a wider line, and that may help him a little bit to try to extend that race lead and save him enough tires if that's the case for this end, because these guys, keep in mind, they've yet to make pit stops in that top 15. They've yet to pit in this race, so of course with that yet to happen, Black Raw picks up a penalty right there. That's not crucial at all. And yeah, of course with that not happening yet, pit stops, I mean, you got to find all the time you can in the pits, because there's no time you're really going to find on track from these two. You're going to have to find it in the pit lane. That's all. And you're in out lap of the pit lane. Yep. Bennett goes in. There you go. Trying to undercut.
Hellcat follows.
Behind that. Yeah, I was going to say behind that, you also have CJ and Communist. Those two both stay out. Those two are really battling for a battle between them for 6th and 7th. CJ Pants took the track, and you also had Communist as well. Took his best finish of the season last week, and just Dylan Boy as well. Picks up a penalty right there. Well, going on to the mediums, that's for Bennett and Hellcat as well. Bennett coming out of the pits now. He's going to blend out into the 11th position behind Thrasher. You also have as well JC Hellcat blending out behind Fake Fiery. So JC Hellcat's going to have to try to do everything he can to try to get closer to Bennett. And maybe even try to get closer to Black Raw, because Black Raw is staying out that extra lap. Yes, he does get by the ghosted car of Ditto. Yeah, drive till the tires explode. Well, we saw it happen in 2013 and real life Formula 1 with what happened there. So, yeah, those type of things do happen. But, yeah, again, Communist staying ahead of CJ, 5/10 between them. CJ, you could just see right there, using a ton of that ERS and really not backing down from really any fight here. You also have behind that, just Dylan Boy is trying on patch for VC as well. But Black Raw is staying out that extra lap, so he is really trying to make sure those mediums can really make it at that end and do everything possible to just have that overtake cut maybe work. And Arthur pits, Florian Foley pits, so does Communist. So Black Raw, CJ, they stay out, and just Dylan Boy does get the move done on Petra VC as he goes to pit. So I don't think that's what Petra VC really wanted to do. And Bennett does get by Thrasher as well. Aaron Ocon picking up another penalty as well. A lot going on right now.
And everybody's just sitting in DRS train right now.
I agree with Burning Man, what he said. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I agree. Pitting, though, JC Arthur out ahead. Florian Foley out as well. So those guys come out behind Hellcat, which is not surprising because Hellcat was sitting third. But those guys, Hellcat does undercut those guys, and Fake Fiery does get by JC Arthur as well. JC Arthur's trying to get in a battle, trying to get out of that battle with Florian Foley. So he's got to do all he can to get ahead of him. And now Bennett and Square. This is for 5th place. Bennett's got to try to work his way around Square here.
GSR Hamilton says, do any tier 3 guys apart from like Ben and know how to ERS save?
Good question. I mean, they just abused the overtake button, we'll put it that way. Square did get in the grass there. Now Bennett does go by.
Passes.
That is into Maggots. And pitting is the race leader. That's Black Draw. Down in the pit lane. Will CJ choose to pit this time as well? No, he will not. So he's really going farther on the tire, CJ is. So that's interesting. And the pit lane here, I'd say, is about 25 seconds, something like that. I'm not really sure my calculations. 25. It's a long pit lane, I will say that. But the strategy for mediums is open for CJ. So, yeah. And yeah, I'd say it probably is longer than that. I don't know. I can't remember. What was pull in tier 3? Anyone remember? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know it probably was faster than last season. That's all I know.
It was a 125 lap.
There you go.
125.
So yeah, Bennett does take the fastest lap right there, and you also have Black Raw coming out of the pit lane just behind Thrasher. And where Black Raw and Bennett do come out, that undercut from Bennett really did work out a lot. I was talking to people from last season's race, and that undercut is very, very powerful here, and you really want to have that undercut be in your favor. And now Bennett does get by Aaron Ocon. That is for third place, but behind that, Black Raw has to get by Thrasher if Black Raw wants to have another chance at this race lead. But right now, he's not looking pretty on penalties, so it's not going to be his way. Very easy. He goes ahead of Square as well. Gets that move done. Square trying to come back at it. This is into cops, though. Yeah, he really pushed the issue right there, Square did, and Black Raw had to run off the racetrack from that one. Behind that, Patcher VC as well. Gets by Risky Robin, who's actually gone for a little slide there, Risky Robin did. And Black Raw, that's another penalty for him. This is actually going to play more into JC Hellcat's favor to possibly take second because he's within a 6-second gap. And I'm pretty sure, well, actually a 3-second gap, if I'm correct on that, because Hellcat's also got a penalty as well. And CJ Pants got heading into the pits for the first time. Risky Robin as well, ditto, yet to pit. Keep in mind, one of them is in this race, one of them isn't, so yeah. Behind that, Communist as well, and Fake Fiery. Fake Fiery did kind of pull out of the way, right there, it looked like. And yeah, where will CJ come out of everything? He should probably come out around 9th, 10th, around there, something. Well, maybe lower than that, actually, now that I see the gap. But yeah, probably around 11th here.
Yeah. And Big Chungus Black Draw has 9 seconds in penalties.
Yeah. So that's not good. And yeah, that could really change the outcome of this race. And Black Raw does get by Aaron Ocon. You can tell Black Raw has the pace, but he does not have the racecraft right now with the amount of penalties he's got. Because when you have 9 seconds of penalties, that's not going toward your way. And yeah, that's a good way to put it as well. I believe Hamilton said these guys don't really know how to save ERS as well. And Thrasher and Square, this is into cops this time. Thrasher trying down the inside, trying to make a move, cannot do so right there. But now again at the exit of cops, into Maggots this time. Thrasher does not have enough momentum to get to Square and make a move. Ditto's car pitting for the first time this race, and actually Thrasher gets into the side of Square. A little bit of contact between them, and this may allow JC Hellcat to make a overtake right in the middle of things. Cannot do so, but right there goes down the inside of Square. Gets the move on him. Not clear just yet. He is clear now, and now it's his next target for Thrasher.
And Square just pulled a dive bomb on him. Hellcat's not going to be happy.
Well, that's really ruined his chance at really getting to Black Raw now because he's nowhere near at all. And he's cut turn 1 right there because of, like, the damage he has from the grass on his tires. He's got a lot of damage on the tires from the grass. That's not good. But, yeah, I know 9 seconds, that's a lot. But right now, Arthur has got himself up to close proximity of Hellcat and Square. So, this may have a move being made pretty soon. Hellcat is really wanting to get by Square here. Diving down the inside here on Square. Goes through. Arthur is going to try on Square as well. I know these two usually are in parties for races as well. Hellcat still trying to defend. Arthur as well. This isn't the cops this time on Square. Is he able to make a move? No, he's not, because he's not close enough at all. But does run in the back of Square and get himself a little bit of wing damage right there. That's very costly. I noticed Just Dylan Boy, Thrasher, Fake Fiery, they're all trying the F1 driver strategy from last season to where they stay out and go for the softs at the other half of the race, which that's what they're probably trying to do right now. And, I mean, Alfa Romeo, like other Alfa Romeo, Just Dylan and F1 driver, I guess you could say it like that. But Patcher VC, he picks up a penalty. He's outside the points as things stand. And, yeah, yet to pit in this race as well as Square. Well, he does now. Or, no, that's Arthur because of damage. That's right, with contact with Square. But yeah, Square, he's yet to pit. He's on 13 laps soft, so he's really making a bold strategy call staying out there that long because he could easily spin out and really damage those tires.
Yeah, the people that started on mediums is most likely betting on a safety car right now. Later on, at least, those softs.
Well, behind that, Hissy gets by Fake Fire as well. That's for 11th. That's outside the points as things stand. But keep in mind, there's 3 people, well, actually 4 people yet to pit in this race. Aaron Ocon, Thrasher, and Thrasher's just got passed by JC Hellcat right there. Thrasher may want to charge back at him. He might be able to do so. Aaron Ocon picks up another penalty. Hell, with the way Aaron Ocon's going, and I don't know what his penalty situation looks like, but he was disqualified in Austria in LDRL. And he almost got disqualified in Britain, I believe, in LDRL as well. So, with the way he's going penalties, will he be to that point? Who knows? As things stand, though, Just Dylan Boy is not going into the pits this time. He's not choosing to box, but Hellcat may choose to overtake Aaron Ocon pretty soon here. Out of the front corner this time. Hellcat's got the traction. Aaron Ocon is starting to struggle here on the 14-lap mediums, and Aaron Ocon doesn't have to defend too much because Hellcat is already down the inside there, and Hellcat goes through right at turn 1. And now Thrasher is actually near a rival of his, Aaron Ocon here, and Square does be able to pit this time. He should be able to go to he should be able to go to the mediums this time, and he does. But Thrasher, using a bit of the overtake button, is trying to gain on Aaron Ocon because these two have collided here in previous seasons, so they're going to try to avoid that this time. Aaron Ocon trying to defend from Thrasher to the left side. Aaron Ocon goes. Thrasher trying a switchback possibly, and yeah, cannot get enough traction to do so. Square pits, Arthur pits. Arthur has to pit again, so he's probably going to be outside the points. And that's him out of the session. He's the first retirement in this race. Didn't even realize that. We've been halfway into this race. And Hellcat's out as well. That's a safety. That's a VSC, actually. That's actually out of Cop's corner.
I hope Dylan there. He has to go down this time. Yep, he will.
That's true. That's going to help Thrasher and Aaron Ocon as well. And speeding.
Oh, he's bad.
Oh, I saw that one coming. Oh, I saw that one coming. Aaron Ocon's going to pit with his teammate.
Oh, they're double stacking. Not going to be good with this long of a pit road either.
Well, DRS is enabled this time. Hellcat out of the session. Arthur out of the session. So both JSE drivers out of the session as things stand. Arthur in the pit lane. Hellcat actually out of Cops right there. And Just Dylan Boy may be helped by this because he started 10th, and he's probably not going to be 10th as things stand when we come out of the pits now. Florian Foley actually goes up into a podium position as thing of the session. So Just Dylan Boy does come out in the 6th position, while CJ and Communists are battling for 4th now. Could Florian Foley be on for a first podium? Don't know. That'd be interesting to say. Thrasher comes out out of the pits. Aaron Ocon does. Fake Fiery does. All of them out of the pits. And Communist getting passed by CJ. CJ does go down the inside and is through. Square picking up a penalty as well. That's back 13th on down. Or actually 12th on down. Riskiest Robin, Square, and Squid Jr. They're all in a battle for 12th place. You usually wouldn't be watching a battle at 12th place here, but there's not much else going on because Square into the back of Riskiest Robin there. Those two about to be side by side here into Sector 2 this time. Square down the inside. Riskiest Robin trying to defend. Can't really defend too much on that one because Square down the inside and is through.
Yes,
Riskiest Robin has nothing to say to that one.
Yeah, at least he tried to.
Squid Jr.'s opportunity now. Riskiest Robin, I think he's going to let him by, but he is still side by side with him. Squid Jr. right there. Can't do much about that because those two a little bit sideways there. Oh, he has to break there because of cops. Well, while this is happening, Just Dylan Boy is gaining on Communist. Communist really swerving a little bit right there and trying to defend as well. Communist staying ahead as things stand here. This is for 5th. Well, it's the Alfa Romeo versus the McLaren. These two sit 1-2 in the combined constructors. It's Dylan Boy. He's through for 5th. Communist has nothing really to say about that, but he might try to charge back. He's not able to. He runs a bit wide. Yeah, Ben is winning. Yeah, that's right. And Squid Jr. Does get by Square because Square has gone off in the gravel. This has brought out a safety car. Oh, boy.
Miracle. It's a miracle.
And the reason that's brought out a safety car is because Square's got a missing front wing. So that's the reason for the safety car. But wow.
Oh my god. We're gonna go green on lap 20 out of 26. Wow. It's a miracle.
And the only reason that's a safety car, and the front two pit. The front two are pitting. Does Flurry fully choose to stay out though? This should be interesting. He does go down. CJ Pants actually passes Dylan Boy maybe under the safety car. Yeah, he does. This might cause a mess here. Yeah, it will. Oh, boy.
I don't know what's happening, dude. This is gonna allow people in pits too. This is gonna help everybody in pits.
Yeah.
Wow.
They could have probably took the race lead, but this is just screwing them over.
Let's do something. Why are you going?
Oh my. Okay. What the wow.
Well,
the
top two just
don't know why Dylan Boy's coming to pit. Communist stays out.
Wow.
And coming out of the exit of the pit lane, that's Bennett, that's Black Raw, but Communist should get ahead of Florian Foley. Those guys are all going under the softs because they know the softs can make it. So, that's big. Dylan Boy, is he pitting for front wing? What is he pitting for? This is why.
Well,
I will check
probably
pens in a
serving is
moment.
5 seconds for his speeding. I think he should just still with it because now he's going to be further back. And everybody's going to be on softs. Like I said at Japan,
well, now he's really getting passed by everyone else in the pits as well because look at Raptors come out ahead of him. CJ's come out ahead of him. Patra VC, Issy, and Aaron Ocon 6-6. So does Thrasher. So those guys who pitted earlier are really in a good position as things stand 5th and 6th. With this mid-race to end of the race safety car similar to Baku, this should bring out an interesting race. And yeah, I will be checking penalties in just a moment. I don't know why that had to happen under the safety car, but behind that, Viking into the pits, Square into the pits, Riskiest Robin. Square gonna have to repair that front wing.
Well, like I said at Japan, bad call at a pit. We're doing. Would have stayed out.
I would have too. Bennett has 2 warnings. That one in lap 1 might be from a collision. We'll have to find out.
He's an AI. Black Raw is an AI. Watch him. I'll watch him just in case something happens.
Black Raw, 3 penalties. Communist, 2 warnings. So McLaren are in prime position to take a 1-2. And Black Raw has many penalties, so just keep that in mind. Florian Foley as well, just penalties for him. Thrasher, he's got penalties. Aaron Ocon has like a list full of penalties similar to Black Raw. Who's got a 3-second?
Fake Fire, he just got a 3-second safety car.
That's also the top 10 doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, it may. I mean, who knows? But, you know. Here, see, 2 warnings. Oh, my God. Patra VC's penalties. Look at this, Davis. It's like the jackpot.
Let me look on the stream.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 4 penalties for him. CJ Pants has picked up a penalty as well. 2 of them. Raptor penalties. Josh Dylan Boy penalty. Fake Fiery only has that 1 penalty. So the people who don't have penalties as things stand are Bennett, Communist, and Florian Foley. Those 3 do not have any penalties whatsoever. Black Raw no longer an AI, so no longer a problem. Fake Fire as well in the pit lane. Arthur's left the session. He's already out of the session, so that won't matter. CJ's in AI right now. Gonna watch this just in case anything goes down, but anyone else in AI? Nope. Yeah,
have
I
tough points.
Well, I mean, I do focus. Voice crack. I do try to focus on really people in AI because of you know, accidents can happen like we saw last week. Keep in mind some of that was
Josh is in
lag
AI
last
now.
week.
Watch him.
Yeah, I see that.
No, he's
I
out.
see that right there. Yeah. Yeah, probably just checking pens. Probably just checking something. Hissy as well, farther at the back of the pack. So yeah. Yeah, of course the new rule was set as well. If you go in AI, you know, you have to have a reason for it. You can't just go in AI just because you want to. You know, you need to have a reason for it. That's the way it goes. Because that stuff has caused accidents before in the past, which we've seen, and it hasn't gone over very well. So with that being said, safety car should be coming in this time. And we should get green with 7 laps to go.
Yep. Communist is on A lap on medium, so I wonder how that's gonna play out for the soft runners. And we're not going this time, are we? No, we're not. We're going next time.
Well, that's probably because the monster's not caught up, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just editing some of the sorting stuff, as you probably hear
That's
on my
fine.
computer. I don't know if you hear the button. What? Black Raw and AI. Focusing on that. Well, I've already seen some tickets sent in about Square, Tier 3 incidents. Arthur, I've seen so many. Not many, but some tickets already sent in, and it's not even the end of the race. So just put it that way.
People in AI would be fine as long as nobody, like the guys behind, try to make it double file too wide. Hooded Monster's gonna be here, so we should be going green this time. It's gonna be a 5-lap shootout.
I wouldn't. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 6 actually.
5,
should be,
6, yeah.
The thing is with Ditto, I just want to keep in mind people behind Ditto have to be very careful. Because that car is ghosted. That car's not in the session. So yeah, that's a problem. And it was really a waste of a reserve spot. I don't know why, but could have chose someone else. But yeah, I'm actually gonna quickly we'll find out that Kagoda. But yeah, I will say you can take over for about the next 30 seconds because I'm gonna quickly be right back. And get ready for the safety car restart, everyone.
Well, everybody in the field is on soft tires, but 3 people, which is Communist, Risky, Strabin, and Ditto, which is not gonna be good, but Ditto is disconnected. Should be going green this time. Bennett will lead the field to green. Black Girl second, Communist third. As Florian Foley's fourth, and rounding out the top 5 is GSR Thrasher. Safety car is in this lap, as let's see when Bennett will go and how much he will back up the field. And it's still backing up the field right now, as he has to wait for that safety car to go down pits, and then he can go whenever. Safety car is in pits, so now Bennett can go whenever. He's gonna go now. Bennett, a decent start over Black Draw.
We are back to the green flag. Behind that, Patra VC is close to Hissy, and I mean, he might be getting passed here by CJ, even though they cannot pass one another. They cannot overtake one another to the line, but Communist has actually fell back to Florian Foley as well because, I mean, he may be trying to protect for his teammate, may trying to be wingman, who knows, but he may have actually made a mistake as well. Just keep that in mind. But behind that, fake fire gets by Riskiest Robin, and now Florian Foley into the back of Communist right there. This is on the safety car restart, heading into turn 4 right there. Florian Foley trying to switch back here, cannot get a move done, and Black Draw actually almost out of DRS on the race leader. Florian Foley trying to make a move again. He's trying down the inside. He's going through ahead of Communist. A great move right there. on the safety car restart. Behind that as well, Riskiest Robin near Dominant Square, near Hooded Monster all there, and you have just Dylan Boy, who's on those softs as well, trying to gain momentum, trying to do what he can, and Thrasher as well, and those softs trying to gain a Communist who's on the 8-lap medium, so this may play a big difference. While all that's happening, Hissy is getting by Aaron Ocon, who's on the 4-lap mediums, and Hissy and Maggots, he goes through! And there's the yellow flag at the back. That should be Dominant Square, and that's Riskiest Robin. CJ Pants is going to get by Patra VC here into Stowe. This time behind that, just Dylan Boy is trying on Squid Jr. behind that. And Patra VC and CJ actually touch right there out of the exit of Stowe into the fall chicane. Bennett takes the fastest lap on those new softs, trying to get an extra point right there.
Squid. That's going to cost Raptor in the championship battle today.
Second might have a new person taking over that possibly in the next few weeks. Who knows? Right now as things stand, Thrasher trying to get in Communist, trying to overtake him because those two sit close to one another with the 5-lap softs, the 11-lap meet. Once that gets enabled, behind that, Patra VC has lost the rear and has gone into the gravel or gone into the grass, and that's contact with Aaron Ocon, I believe, and that's sent him outside the points. Thrasher is trying on Communist now. Thrasher's gone through right there. That's at the exit of the long right-hander there. And now into Cops this time. Thrasher's got ahead. Behind that, CJ Pants is trying on Aaron Ocon as well. And Aaron Ocon has to hit the back of him right there because he cannot go any much farther. And Hissy has to get by Communist as well, who actually picks up his first 3-second time penalty. Communist does. He's starting to struggle on those mediums. Probably should have pitted. This time, Hissy trying to the left side. Behind that as well, you have the Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri battling. It's Hissy ahead of Communist. Behind that, Squid gets by Aaron Ocon. They're side by side, touching and barging right there. And again, they do. And that's Aaron Ocon around the outside of Squid Jr. Behind that, just Dylan Boy. He has to try down the inside now of Squid Jr. Side by side between them, Aaron Ocon picks up a penalty. And the gap between the race lead, 1.3 as we reach 4 laps to go. That gap is at a DRS. That's the Red Bull. That's Riskiest Robin there. Outside the points, down the order. And you have Just Dylan Boy, who's also trying to get by Squid Jr., who made the bad call to pit right there. Just Dylan Boy is, because he probably could have easily took a top 5 finish or been top 5 on track if it were to stay if it were to stay the way it was at that time. But Squid Jr. does get by Aaron Ocon. Now his teammate Just Dylan Boy has to get by Aaron Ocon. He goes through right there as well. Hooded Monster, it's his opportunity to get by Fire King. Those two are side by side. Fire King goes for a slide and is going around. The gap between the race lead is actually closed down. That's a second between them. That's a bit closer than it was previously. And now Dominant Square with a 3-second time penalty. That's another spin for Fire King. He spun all the way around.
Hissy does have DRS now.
Yeah. Well, CJ Pants, he's trying to close the gap down on Communist as well. This is into Stowe. Fire King has spun out again. He's out.
Wow.
And he's brought out a safety car. I think that's a retirement on purpose. I think that's on purpose. I think that is. We're going to have a 2-lap shootout. Can't pit now, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell him to clip it.
Interesting. Unless there was gravel on his tires, that's intentional. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, I saw that coming too. I was not surprised. Well, just like Tripod last week, just like Nathan Aiken in Austria, it's another rage, I guess you could put it that way. I don't know if that was the case, but yeah. When does safety car have to go in? Well, we've seen this in Bahrain before. Safety car can come out late in the race. And with the way things will go, safety car should probably be in this time. I mean, that's probably the way it's going to go. Late race safety car here in Britain. Bennett leads ahead of Black Raw. Now, how will Florian Foley take an opportunity out of this? Because Florian Foley doesn't have any penalties. Well, Thrasher sits in a net P... Well, yeah, really a P4, but a net P... I don't know what place it would be with the penalties. But now Communist has got a penalty. Now he's got one. It's Florian Foley and Bennett without the penalty. So Florian Foley could be on for his first podium today. Luck on his side on a return for him. That'd be a great story for him. Yeah, everyone has to get caught up this time because the safety car should be coming in this time. Risky Robin won't be able to catch up to the pack, but Dominant Square, he should be able to as well. So with the way things stand, that safety car should be coming in this time.
Well, that draw penalty's not going to help him at all.
No, definitely not. He's going to be down the order. He's going to shoot down the order, especially with the safety car. And the safety car is coming in this time. It's a final safety car restart with a 2 laps to go. Shootout here in Britain. Foley has 1 pen, you say. Well,
who I'm cheering for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. I messed that one up. Bennett's the only one without a penalty. So this, as long as he gets the race lead on track, he should be able to win it. They're stacking up behind. They're going wheel to wheel. But a Monster Aaron Ocon, they actually trade positions right there. That might affect a few things. But Bennett, right now, when is he going to go? He goes now. That safety car's in the pit lane. He's ahead, and he is staying in that race lead. Here he comes. To the final chicane. Thrasher as well. He's picked up a penalty right there. Thrasher has. He was trying to pass Floyd Foley before the safety car restart had even started, and now for the race lead, it's a tenth. It's 2 tenths actually between them, and behind that, Patrick VC Raptor. Raptor has to gain these positions because it's costly for him to be that far down as things stand because of where he's at in the championship. And ahead of that, Aaron Ocon gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. Well, here comes Black Raw. He's trying for the win on track, at least at the minimum, because he ain't going to be off penalties unless Bennett has some issues in these final laps. Bennett trying to win a 3rd race of the season, I believe it would be. But right now, as things stand, the race lead is very close with one another. 2 tenths separates that gap, and Squid as well. Trang and Communist. Squid has got through. It's the other AlphaTauri through and ahead. Florian picks up a second penalty. So that may be costly right there. He cuts the corner again, and again in the race lead. Black Raw trying on Bennett right here. This is at least for the win on track, because Black Raw, with the way he's going, he's got not good at penalties, and Thrasher picks up a 3rd penalty, that is. And now for the race lead, it's close again. Black Raw cannot do anything about that one. And behind that, CJ Pants is got by Communist as well. Well, just Dylan Boy, he's trying to challenge on their McLaren as well. Can't get through it there. Trying to the right side in the chicane. They're side by side. They're touching right there. Oh, contact. And behind that Raptor, he spun off. That's going to be huge for this championship at the halfway point. And Blackrock picks up another penalty. Who's going to be on the podium? Hissy goes down the inside of Thrasher as well. Hissy's through. And spinning off, that's CJ. Out of the race.
Oh, what's happening?
As the way things stand, Bennett does not have any penalties. Yeah, he does not at all. And Raptor does go through in his teammate Dominant Square. Dominant Square has gone down the order as well. Patcher VC trying around the outside of Aaron Ocon as well. Pat just really trying this one. Yeah, and Aaron Ocon did really pinch him right there. No room was being given right there. And a little bit of contact again. Aaron Ocon is sideways, and Fake Fiery may try for a points position on track with these two colliding. Thrasher's got passed by Squid and Hissy as well. Keep that in mind. Well, Bennett this time gonna come to the line for another win. It looks like it'll be his 4th win of the season. 4th win in Tier 3. He's dominated this one to the final chicane for the final time. Bennett on home soil this time. He's going to take his 4th win of the season with the home crowd cheering him on. Bennett is going to get the victory for the 4th time in ARL. But what will the podium look like? Floyd Foley is on the podium for the first time. He's not actually, because of Hissy going to 2nd. Squid Jr. to 3rd. Floyd Foley misses out on that podium. And behind that, Thrasher in the points again. Fake Fiery in the points. Black Raw in the points, but down in 7th. Just Dylan Boy 6th. A lot of positions changing at the final moment. But Fake Fiery picks up his first points of the day. Wow. Hissy 2nd again. Close to a race victory, but not close enough. And off penalties, he is 2nd. You have behind that Squid Jr. on the podium again. Returning. He's probably going to take maybe a closer step to 2nd in the points. Behind that, Floyd Foley, who looked like he had a shot at the podium, picked up those 2 penalties. And he did not receive the podium in the end of the day. Squid Jr., That's on the top 10. You know, you were going to pick him as a favorite, Davis, but on the podium. Well, at least safety car restart allowed Bennett to take even a bigger lead, and Florian Foley as well, not to get a podium. Well, 2 people without a podium. I didn't realize SC didn't have didn't have penalties. But yeah, as things stand with unofficially, unless these do come into play, Bennett history. Florian Foley as well, 4th, a top 5 for the first time for Communist. Thrasher back inside the points. He's got to be happy with that one. You also have Fake Fiery in the points for the first time. That's great to see. Wow. And 16 finishers in this race, if I'm correct. Actually, 15 if you include the DNR Ditto, I guess you could say. But yeah, after, not a good points day for him because of where he stands. And Bennett gets a full 27 points. That's big for the championship, especially with the way things are at. I said before this race, that gap could get very, you know, increased by Bennett. Bennett can increase it to where it's 2 races ahead, and he's now definitely 2 races ahead as things stand. Let's get him in here, the top 3.
15th to 3rd, wow.
Well, we definitely have time for post-race interviews on, like, some of the last few weeks. Can't blame you on that one.
And Bennett wins again.
Penalties didn't matter though with him, you know. He dropped on 8th, I think, or 7th.
Con would have got 3rd, wouldn't he?
So
Without penalties.
who got 3rd? What?
Communist probably would have got 3rd if he didn't have penalties.
Yeah. Yeah. He picked up a few penalties in those last laps. I was thinking,
Yeah, I know.
oh man, he could have got a podium. But hey, he keeps well, not equaling, but bettering that better finish or the best finish he has. Keeps bettering the best finish. I don't know how I messed it up, but yeah. Yeah, Florian Foley is unlucky. Aaron O'Con is trying to. Aaron O'Con is trying to appeal 2 penalties. He says.
GSR tier 2. When you did. You appealed.
Bro, I left GSR. Couldn't take it.
Well,
hey, look, you know Bennett will race here too. A-list on reserves.
Bennett? Another win for you. It's a 4th win now of the season. You've led over 100 laps in this tier. I mean, you're just dominating at this point. What other way to put it now with another win on home soil?
How about you stop winning?
How many wins is that?
Too many to count.
Yeah, Bennett, make sure your audio's included though. But yeah, a win on home soil. 4 wins of the season now. 100+ laps led in this tier. I mean, how do you got to put it at this point with a win on home soil now? Make sure your audio's included.
I don't know. It was just a mad race, and just that I struggled in qualifying to set a lap, and then managed to get pole for last second, and then yeah, just try to keep the win for the whole race. Try not get any pens.
Did you think that was going to be a pole lap with the way it was going? Because you hadn't said lap previously at all. You were invalidating, I saw a few times, and you just weren't able to complete a lap. So, was that a problem at all?
Yeah, it was a problem.
Invalidating a lot?
I had like 3-4 laps invalidated, and I just wanted to get one on the board, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
it's your 4th win.
Get pole with 1 lap.
Yeah, sorry for cutting in. No, I was gonna say, it's your 4th win in the tier. Tier 3 now. How do you kind of put it now? With 8 races done in the season, you've won half the races. How do you kind of put it?
It's just over, isn't it? I don't know. Who's in 2nd now? In championship.
I know. Squid is gained on Raptor. I know that.
He's seeing Squid.
It's probably still Raptor though.
Yeah, Raptor's still 2nd.
I don't know, yeah, just, what is it, like 60 points clear or something?
Where did Raptor
Squid might lose
Yeah, 60 points.
Squid might
Well,
lose podium.
I'm
70,
23
70
points behind
clear.
him. I would have had to win
70 points
to be
clear.
able to pass him.
Yeah, so you're 70 points clear in the championship now. How do you look forward to Italy, where last season the dominant cars got taken out? We had a surprise winner last season. How do you look forward to that in turn 1?
I don't know. I just hope I can set a lap. 'Cause if not, it's going to be mad up that.
Yeah. Davis, do you have any questions for race winner Bennett?
Absolutely no questions.
Congrats on the win.
Cheers.
We already
Davis, you can interview Hissy and Squid for second, third. I gotta quickly bring
Don't
back.
really have any questions.
Make sure they include
besides,
audio.
yeah. Did anything wait, this is for Squid, by the way. Did anything happen with you and CJ?
Who?
You and CJ Pants. Did anything happen? Because he
I
opened
didn't
a
see him all
ticket.
race.
Didn't see him all race. Well, it happened that whole race with you and
Oh,
someone.
that's
Because
CJ.
he opened a
Oh
ticket.
no, he slowed down too
Yeah.
much and it just got into the back of him. He didn't really
Okay, so
spin out or anything.
you don't think anything will be? You don't think it'll be a penalty?
I don't think so. I didn't record a clip, so
Yeah, he opened
this track
a ticket,
sucks.
so.
So
But I like this track. But
This
this
track
is one of
is a
the favorite tracks, so
dumpster
I
fire.
doubt. I doubt.
I doubt
it's
it'll
gonna get
be
removed
taken
off
off.
schedule. Won't
if
happen.
any track should be taken off, it's my home track. USA is a pile of
That was the
garbage.
best race we've had.
No, well,
I think. Well, up there.
that was the worst race I've ever had.
Yeah, for
I was in
commentating,
like
it's not the
19.
best race.
I was in like 16th all race, and then safety
I
car
thought it was
came
too
out.
late for the safety car to come out.
No, they can
no,
always. It's
if-
two. You can have a two lap
There's a
shootout.
chance it could. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, two lap shootouts are not the best because no DRS is involved, and yeah.
CJ is just mad I passed him because I was in the back already.
Well, congrats on P3. We'll see if you get a penalty.
I'd like
for
to
that.
thank my sponsors and the McDonald's I got for lunch today. Gave me the energy to absolutely drive through this race. The bore fest. I guess that's what soda
Well,
does.
I have questions, I guess. Well, Hissy, no penalties, man.
No, I was
probably
trying
wish you
hard
had that
not
in
to get
Hungary.
one.
He cheated.
Yeah.
I know, you probably wish you had that in Hungary as well. But hey, second place finish for you. How happy are you with that one?
I'm really happy, like considering what happened at the start. I got a bit of wing damage. Going into turn 3, I think. So that was annoying. And then I had to go pit just before lap 1. So and get a new wing change and onto hard. So I was praying for a safety car like that whole race, pretty much.
Yeah.
I got God knows how, but I got 2 of them within 3 laps or something. No idea what happened there, but I still had a fresh set of softs for that, so that was quite handy to have them at the end. But I'm really happy because I was more or less last after the first lap, so I'll take second and no penalties. So that was good. I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, that's 2. No, not 2 podiums in a row. I'm wrong. Why am I thinking Hungary? Last season was this season, but no.
Don't remind me of that.
I was not gonna try to, but I forgot.
I've had
for a moment,
nightmares
but
the whole
hey,
week about that race.
On a positive note, I mean, I know like records, are gonna be broken and stuff like that, but this isn't a record, but this is a record for people in tier 3. You currently have 10 consecutive points finishes in a row.
Nice.
How happy are you with that record as of right now for tier 3?
I'm pretty happy with that. I think I said before the season started, or I think you'd asked me about what I want to do, coming into the season. I just said I want to be consecutively finishing the points. So I think so it's good to have that kind of record just now because that's all I wanted was just to keep finishing the points. And I actually thought that about halfway through the race. I think I was sitting about 13th. It wasn't really anywhere, and I was like, "Oh, no, my streak's going to be over now." But that was lucky. That was kind of weird thing to kind of think about. But but I'm really glad that I'm still in the points, and I managed to get second. I was trying so hard at the end there to not get a penalty. I think I had quite a lot of pace there, but I was still kind of holding back there, trying to not get a penalty because I knew I think I knew everyone around me had a penalty, and I was oh my god, I was like I could get a well because I didn't know what Bennett had, but I kind of assumed that he wouldn't have a penalty. But if he did, I think only would have been like 2/10 off the win or something. If you had, had a 3 second at least. So I was trying so hard to not get a penalty. It worked though, I suppose.
Hey, well, another podium for you, another second place finish. Congrats on that one. Squid, I don't have any questions for you. I would say congrats on third, and I would say enjoy the McDonald's.
I already finished it. So
Can I
it's a
have
sad
some?
day.
Aw.
I want some too.
I'm about to race.
don't have
I need
money.
food.
I'm hungry.
I was eating it.
want
I was
something.
eating it during qualifying. I'm like, so. This race was a shat show.
Whoa. Bye,
Hey, I said S-H-A.
Good luck in tier 2.
There's no
most
I
likely
in
if
there.
you race. Oh, fine, just leave.
All right, well, tier 2 is coming up pretty soon.
I'm winning.
2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK. We're back here for the British Grand Prix. Scripted dry race completely for that one. We'll see you then. Hopefully, you enjoy your little break you guys got till tier 2 at least, Davis. I hope you enjoy that one and everyone else watching. But hey, tier 2 coming up pretty soon, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK. Look forward to that one. We'll see you then.